Good morning. How are you on this great September day that is a little cooler than they have been in the past? We want to welcome you to the September edition of the Cannon County Connection, Chamber Connection, and of course it's presented by DTC3. They're a great community partner for us, and we're so glad that they are in our community because they help us with a lot of things. We want to, before we even start, I want to express our concern for the people, the many people in Texas who have been displaced by Hurricane Harvey. This is unfortunate, and I don't know how you stop things like that from happening, but it has, and we wish those people the best. I know it'll be a long time for them to recover, and we hope that everything goes really well for them. I know there's lots of people all over that's helping, but I think probably the most help they need right now is through the Red Cross is money, because clothes, things like this, even though they may need some, many of those people don't have any place to go back to. So, you know, they can't carry around a lot of things. So just a thought, you know, and I know people mean well and they want to send everything, but probably if you get in touch with the Red Cross and you can make a donation would be the best effort that you could make. We do have, I have Lindsay Duggan with me today. I almost forgot your last name. Lindsay, she got married recently.
It's a new last name.
That's right. And I also have Ethan Campbell, and he is a chamber member. And Ethan has opened his own office in Woodbury. He is a financial advisor for Edward Jones, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
You're just getting started, aren't you?
Just getting it started, and time to get out of the hustle and bustle of the bigger cities and move to the nice, quiet, slower pace Woodbury. I've really enjoyed it, and so have my clients.
Hey, I felt that way for years. I have felt that way for years. You know, when you look at you, Ethan, and maybe it's because I'm getting older, but every time I see you, you look younger.
I'll take that as a compliment.
I mean it as a compliment, but I think, when I look at you, I think, this guy's not out of high school yet, I don't believe. But here you are.
Yes, ma'am.
Your own office, financial advisor. What else do you offer people?
Mainly financial services. You know, we offer a various array of planning formats, and every in particular client is going to be different. So I would have to talk with them and then self-tailor something to that individual.
And and Edward Jones has been around for a while.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Over a century now. So
we used to have a young man that when I worked at the drugstore that he came up and we did some investing through him.
Well, good. We appreciate your business.
Well, we all sold it. But they did a good job, and he was a nice man. He was.
Thank you.
Came up and took care of us. When you opened your own office, was there a particular reason for that, or just like what you said, you just wanted to get to a smaller area?
Before I began at Edward Jones, I identified Woodbury as where I wanted to put my office. The reason is, you know, I can go into Hardee's in the morning and know 85% of the people.
There you
I can
go.
walk to lunch. You know, I know the people where I go to lunch. And I wanted the ability to give back to a community that very much helped me grow.
Right.
You know, I wanted the ability to talk at the high schools and help the younger generations learn what financial planning is and how they can drastically change their future, whether they're my clients or not. I wanted the ability to be in a community where I could help and be philanthropic and do everything that I can to help this community grow and become better.
We want controlled growth, Ethan.
That might be a little bit out of my professional
We're just
ability,
telling
but I
you,
will help.
Before you start recruiting, we want controlled growth. No, I understand that, and I feel exactly the same way. When I go in a place of business, I like for them to call me by name. I like to know them. I like to see familiar faces. And I think community involvement is very important, and especially if you're in business.
Yes.
And especially if you're going to talk about people's finances. That's probably one of the most private things there is talking about people's money or lack of, whichever. But I think there's certainly a need for that, and I think the way things are going, and we don't even know what kind of jobs we're going to have to prepare for the future or what it's going to be like. So I think the younger you start thinking, and I know it's hard when you're young and you're in high school and you got college ahead of you to think about saving money, but the younger you can start, the better, right?
Yes, ma'am. That is absolutely correct.
Or coming up with some type of a plan.
Yes.
Okay. I've said everything you needed to say.
All right.
No, I haven't. I want you to talk, Ethan. I want you to tell us what your future plans are.
Okay. I get asked a lot what I do, and I tell everybody, let me take a minute and tell you what I believe before I tell you what I do. I'm a firm believer that there's a difference between being rich and being wealthy. I think through good mathematics and a work ethic, we can make anyone rich. Where I believe the differentiating factor is in being wealthy is the ability to give back to the community, the ability to change the entire landscape of generational wealth, the ability to give your kids the opportunities that maybe you didn't have. The ability to not only give assets to the community, but have the ability to give your time back to the community. I know that here in Cannon County there are some very neat programs to help children, that are progressing through elementary school, even into high school, going to get their associate's degree here in Tennessee through tutoring programs and mentorships. And I think that making that crossover to understanding that mentality is a huge aha moment in someone's life. So I like to sit down with my clients and explain the difference between the two. Into what I do, I sit down with a team of experts. I have a team at my office and with Edward Jones. I sit down with my clients, legal professional and tax professional. We all have our in particular abilities, and those three combine to help us give our clients the best comprehensive financial plan possible. What we do is we sit down and we make sure that we understand where our clients are today. Just like building a house, we have to have a very good foundation. We have to understand what their assets are, what their liabilities are, what their ability to save is. Are they doing something at work? Are they going to just solely be using Edward Jones? What is their future goals? Secondly, we talk about what are their goals? So I sit down with my clients and ask them, paint me a picture of your ideal retirement. Just tell me a little bit about what that's going to be. Help me understand where you want to go. Is that in the mountains in Colorado? Is that in the beaches in the Virgin Islands? Is it here with your grandkids, taking care of them? I just need to understand those factors because there's so many moving parts in a good financial plan that we have to make sure that there aren't any surprises. I'm not a big fan of surprises in my world. I guess that's just built into my makeup. And number three, after combining that, there are a few other, in particular, things that we'll sit down, we'll understand how they perceive risk. We'll go through what I call a market personality test to understand that the client's goals are aligned with how they feel that the market goes up and down. Because I don't want any clients to be in something that is more of a roller coaster than they anticipated. So we're not trying to just make people rich. We're helping people and partnering with clients to help them achieve their goals based upon their risk tolerance and based upon their financial foundation. What we do then is we make sure that we have a personalized strategy based on that client's needs and goals and risk tolerance to make sure that they can achieve the best ideal retirement that they can. We go through several different layouts and then we pick something. We have various products that help them achieve that, whether protection strategies or investment strategies. And then my team and I partner with that individual for their life to help keep them on track. So in 3 simple statements, I want to sit down with clients and I want to understand what's important to them. Secondly, I want to understand how I can help them get there. I have a very established process, as we mentioned earlier. Edward Jones has been around for over a century. We've got a great process to help people achieve their financial goals. And third, my team and I will partner together with them for their lifetime to make sure that we get them there and keep them through to the finish line.
And what your goals are depends a lot on your age too, doesn't it? And what you...
There are so many factors. I have not one client in my book of business that is the same as another one. Everybody's in particular needs are different.
Okay. I'm impressed. I think maybe I'll come down after the show. I'm not sure. You're very impressive. I'm very impressed with you, Ethan.
Well, thank you.
Now, you've moved into a new office. Where are you located now?
I am at what a lot of people up here refer to as the older USDA building. It's at 738 Old McMinnville Road, right up past where 53 turns to Short Mountain and right past the high school and co-op.
Right, right. You're right. People pass by that every day, I think, and don't pay any attention unless they have to go there for a particular reason. But that's a newer building, and I would say that I know you probably had to do some renovating.
Yes, we've done quite a bit of renovating. It was about a 3-month process that we
I didn't think it's
put
going
new
to take you that
furniture
long.
and painting and drywall and windows and all of that fun stuff. We have a local landscaper that's going to come in and put some nice crepe myrtles and boxwoods. We have a local sign company that's putting a nice LED lit sign out there and a new flag with a spotlight on the flag at night. So we're going to dress it up quite a bit, and hopefully it will catch some more attention as people drive by. We really want to have a really nice office location here in Woodbury and do our part to make Woodbury look as nice as possible.
Yes, I agree, and I think that's wonderful. I think somebody ought to give you an award of some kind. I just haven't figured out what kind it is yet. Customers is your reward, isn't it? Clients.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what is your new phone number?
It is 615-563-5175.
And remember, his name is Ethan Campbell, and he is with Edward Jones. And if you need to know his number, he is a member of the chamber, and you can call the chamber, and I'll be glad to direct you to his place of business. So, well, thank you for coming on.
Okay.
And we'll have you back if you decide to do anything else while you're doing all of this.
Okay.
Let me know, and we'll have you back on.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, all you investors out there, all you people that want to plan ahead, this is the guy you need to see right here. Thank you, Ethan.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, Lindsay, I'm not ignoring you.
Oh, that's all right. No, that was interesting. Although I will say that maybe the music and singing and dancing should be left to the art center side of things, maybe.
Oh,
as much as I appreciate Ethan,
You don't think I could hum a few bars
Oh,
of
you
something?
could. You're in this building every day. You learn. You see us. What we
Okay,
work on.
I'll have my next 2 guests come on up. And these are not going to be strangers to you either, because they have events every year. And I have Mr. Fount and Anna Bertram are with us. And of course, they're everything Edgar Evans State Park. And my first question to Fount is, they're not going to privatize the parks, are they?
That is good news.
Well, I'm asking, are they or?
No, they are not. It's off the table.
Well, all right.
The main reason is that they put Fall Creek Falls up for bids with $22.3 million of state money, and they didn't get a single bid. And after putting it on that basis for as long as they did, they just decided to put the money into refurbishing the park instead of tearing it down and starting over, which they should have
That
done in the
makes
first
sense
place.
to me. The other didn't make sense to me. That makes sense to me. The state parks are ours. They shouldn't be privatized. Those belong to the
Well, if we
people.
privatized the parks, what they were going to become is for a for-profit. and that was going to turn them into resorts.
Right.
And when you're trying to make a profit on something, well, guess what happens to the prices? It goes out of reach for the average Tennessee family, where now, well, the state parks were never set up to make a profit.
Yeah.
They were set up to be a place where the citizens of Tennessee could go to, take their families, enjoy nature, enjoy the things that are offered out there, and be supported by the taxpayer, by the people who use them. And obviously, somebody lost sight of this, and they tried to make it into a situation. Other states have tried it, and it hasn't worked. Texas did that on some of their state parks. They've become resorts. Nobody can afford to go there unless they're rich people. So I think Tennessee has hopefully crossed a line here, and it's become obvious that our state parks are for the citizens of Tennessee and to be used in that fashion.
I agree with you. I do agree with that. When I first heard about that, I thought, oh, no, these are things where everybody can go right now. I mean, really, they can. You can take your family. I don't want it where it's down to just a special section.
That's the whole idea.
I know. Well, I'm glad it's off the table. And now and you are the president of the Friends of Edgar Evans State Park, right?
Yes, I am.
And you are volunteers that help with events and put on things at Edgar Evans State Park, right?
The Friends of Edgar Evans State Park is a purely volunteer organization. Nobody gets paid. Nobody profits from it. What we do for the park is because we love the park and not because we're profiting in any way from it.
Okay, there you go. He's not profiting from this. They volunteer their time. And Anna, you're their marketing person, are you not?
Yes, I am, and I'm in charge of membership and programs and a few other things.
And anybody can join the Friends, can they not?
Certainly they can. They've got more than one option. They can join by paying dues, which are quite reasonable, or they can pledge to work a minimum of 12 hours during the year and earn their membership in that way.
12 hours, that's a drop in the bucket, guys.
We figure that in that
a day and a half.
Right. We figure that in that 12 hours, they will have so much fun and they will feel so good about themselves that they'll just keep coming, you know.
And keep
this is
doing
pretty
more
much true. They pay their dues, you never see them again.
Yeah.
But they come and they work and they find out what it's all about, and they get to know the other volunteers, and they get to know the wonderful park staff and rangers, and we've got them hooked. So.
And you do put on several things during the year. I'm sure the other parks do too, but Edgar Evans is the only one that's approached me
Edgar Evans
about their events.
Edgar Evans is the closest park to Cannon County, and the idea being that each park serves an approximately 50-mile to 150-mile radius around it in the whole state. So we are sort of the designated park for Cannon County, and it is our park. The more that our people take part in it, the more the state will give funds to the park to improve it. And this is one of the reasons for our events. There's twofold. One is to get more people into the park who are then aware of what all it has to offer in its beauty and its facilities, its events, its people. And it also raises money when we have our 3 fundraisers during the year. And that money goes directly to the park for park projects. And there's a long list of things that we have done to improve the park through the years. Equipment that we've bought, most of the money that we raise goes to tangibles like equipment, like a golf cart to help the camp host run the rounds of all the campgrounds to collect monies or to take messages or the many errands that they need to run during the day. But I won't dwell on that. Right now we want to talk about fall events.
Yes, you do.
And I'm going to save a surprise for you, specifically for you, for the end. So
I'm not sure how I handle surprises.
you'll like this one. You'll like this one. Okay. Coming up right away, September 30th, is trail building. We will be actually beginning construction on a new half-mile trail that will be called the Hillside Storybook Trail. And the purpose of this trail will be to encourage both reading and getting outdoors for young children and their parents. We have a prototype, and it's Long Hunter State Park, which has a ranger's reading trail. And ours will be similar, but a much more challenging hike because of our hilly terrain. But along the route, there will be reproductions of the pages of a selected storybook that is appropriate to the park and to the age group. These will be in full color, and they will be on signposts that are at children's height and angle. And they will go from sign to sign to read the story as it develops. And they're in the park, and they're in nature, and it will relate to various things they see along the way. So we're excited about this. The trail building will be on National Public Lands Day. It's a great way to observe that event, and it will be at 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock, and we'll serve lunch right afterwards. So in order to sign up, you could either call us or you can contact the park manager, Kenny Gregg. The park office is 931-858-2114. And we will supply not only lunch, we'll supply tools and know-how. We'll have on-the-job training. So if you could do yard work and you can stand up on an uneven surface, you could do this.
Is it snake-free?
Well, there's no outdoors that's snake-free. But
I
let's put
need
it
a
this way.
snake-free area.
Let's put it this way. Fan and I have been hiking for most of our lives.
Right.
And especially here in Tennessee for the 30 years or so. And we have seen snakes. They usually see you first and they get out of the way because they don't want to have anything to do with you.
Well, I
But
hope
we
that's
have
so.
occasionally seen snakes, not that many times though, but we have never been bitten. And we have camped and hiked outdoors in Tennessee for years. So that's my answer there.
Just remember, Carolyn, snakes are our friends.
No. Somehow that doesn't sink into my brain.
I won't push that issue today. But anyway, if you are willing to help, we'd love to have you. Then on October 14th, we'll have our 12th annual History Hayride. And this is theater from a hay wagon.
All right.
We will have, from Cannon County, we've got several people. We have Lori Christensen and Gerald Melton, his wife Marcia Melton, Melanie Neistat, her daughter Ty Lee, Freddie Curtis, the teacher in the high school, and several others.
Douglas Combs.
You're kidding. What is Doug doing?
He's going to be a narrator on a wagon.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So come on out, but you have to make reservations for the October 14th event. And reservations are now open. They are online. It's very easy this year. All you do is remember to go online to www.FOEESP, which are the initials for Friends of Edgar Evans State Park.com. Look under events, you'll see History Hayride. It gives you a big link. You click on the link and you make reservations, and if you have any problem, it tells you how to get in touch with us.
Okay.
And then I'll help you. So it's $15 per person. Our price has never gone up, and this is our...
No, that's very reasonable. You can't do much of anything anymore for that.
No, you can't. Now, this is a historical thing, and it's theater. It's not meant for small children. This is not Halloween. This is history, mystery, and theater.
All right.
So, okay, and then October 21st, we do think about the children and families. That's Halloween in the park with a campsite decoration contest on Saturday and trunk and treat. Now, if you're going to take part in the campsite decoration contest, the people need to make reservations in advance through the state for their camping site. But you do not have to be a registered camper or cabin guest to take part in the trunk and treat. And there will be other activities at the park that entire weekend to celebrate the occasion of Halloween in the park. So that's October 21st. That way people will still be able to be home
For Halloween.
itself. On Saturday, October 28th, we'll have the annual Fall Color Cruise, and this will be our 15th year, and you've never gotten to go because it's always another event for you. But this is also $15 per person. It's a fundraiser for the Friends of Edgar Evans State Park. We'll take about 4 or 5 boats out on Center Hill Lake for about 2.5 hours for a nice tour. We'll see the flora and fauna. We'll see houses of the grand and famous. And they don't want us to point them out anymore. They say they get too many people coming to see them later. But anyway, we'll kind of nudge people, you know. But anyway, and some of the historical features along the way. This is $15 per person, and again, there's reservations, and again, it's easy. They just go to the website, www.foeesp.com, and go to Color Cruise, and there'll be a big link, and they click on it and make online reservations. That form will also tell them how to contact us if they have any problems.
All right.
Now, here's your surprise.
Oh.
Like I mentioned, you've never been able to go on the annual Fall Color Boat Cruise because you've had a conflict. Well, this is solved. If you can get off on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, you can go on a Rangers Fall Color Cruise.
Okay, that sounds fun.
And for this, you call the park office to reserve a spot. They only take one boat out for each of these days. So seating is a lot more limited than it is on the Saturday fundraiser.
Right.
But the office number is 931-858-2114.
And the park has a new pontoon boat, and it's fancy. So
Oh,
you'll
wow.
be very comfortable on it.
Very
So it will
good.
be a fun thing. And
Okay, and that would be on Monday, Tuesday, or
Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
during the period of October 16th through 30th. So they'll start after, well, they will be through before no, they kind of overlap, sorry. But anyway, ours is on Saturday. When I say ours, it's the Friends fundraiser. It's 15. And then during the week, they'll have a somewhat shorter one, which will be on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday with a ranger in one boat each time.
Okay. What,
And call the park office for that.
What times are those?
I am not really certain. I think that
I can call that
they're
number and
mornings.
find out.
I believe they're in the mornings, and it'll be delightful.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sure it will be.
Well, thank you. That was a wonderful surprise. That's great.
You like that one?
I do.
There's some people that don't know how to get to Edgar Evans State Park from Cannon County, if you can believe it. But the easiest way is to go the Gazaway Road to Highway 70S to
No,
Liberty.
it's 70, not 70S.
Okay,
Highway 70.
to Liberty at Highway 70 East, past Dowelltown on the top of Snow Hill, and then left on Highway 96, which is Dale Ridge Road. And then you go about 12 miles over the dam and past the Corps of Engineers office to the park, and the entrance is on the right across from Big Rock Market and Caney Fork Outdoors.
The reason I know where that is, well, I've been there before, but the one reason I found out where it was is I was lost, and I drove all over out there.
Well, you know, after you get off the main highway, it's a long way, and it seems longer than it is, you
Yeah.
know, but you think, have I come too far, you know? But just keep going until you get over the dam, past the Corps of Engineers office, and then it's not far at all.
Okay,
It'll be on your right.
and you get to see the dam too, so there you go.
You'll get to see what all's been done to it.
Well, all of those things are really neat things. They are. And we also want to encourage people to become friends, not just, like she said, with the money, put in your time, you know, go out there and do some things to help. 12 hours really isn't that much when you consider you can do that throughout the year. So,
Well, actually, we even bend that rule a little bit if they're working a major event and they work that whole day, like for the History Hayride or for...
you do a May thing, the May Day thing, don't you? Is there something you do in May, a spring?
Oh, it's in April.
Okay.
Actually, there's two things we do in the spring, big things. The one you're thinking about is the celebration of spring
Right.
in April. And it's a big deal. We have the Maypole, which is why you thought of May.
Right.
But that's only part of it. There's activities for all of the family, from the children on through the grandparents, and something to do all day, even boat rides.
Wow.
So,
There you go. That sounds fun. If you like to go to the parks, listen, you need to take advantage of some of these because they're reasonably priced, and
some are
most
free.
of them you can bring the kids to.
And
You
most
know.
of them are free, as a matter of fact. And this is just an abbreviated list. There are, throughout the year, there's over 20 or 30 different events that take place in the park. Most of them are free. And in addition to that, if you're camping or staying in a cabin, there's all during the warm months, there are ranger-led activities in addition to what I have on this list. So
Right.
there's something going on there all the time.
Well, hiking is a big thing right now. You know, people have kind of gotten back to that. I have grandchildren that are grown now that they love to go hiking. That and not canoeing, what's the other one?
Kayaking.
There you go. That's another big thing for
Well,
them too. so.
Edgar Evans State Park there on Center Hill Lake, until about 2000, I listed it as a glorified boat ramp. If you didn't have a boat, you weren't in water sports of any kind, there wasn't much to do in the park.
Yeah.
But we formed the Friends Group, and we have worked very hard to bring activities into the park that makes it, if you don't have a boat, if you don't aren't involved with water sports, it's a beautiful park. It's got a lot of features that other than the lake.
Fishing,
And
without a boat.
well, but hiking and all the other activities and just the scenery, just drive through the park. It's a beautiful park, and we're trying to promote the park on those aspects, and really encouraging our Cannon County residents to take advantage of it. It's not an obligation; it's an advantage that you can go and enjoy nature and enjoy a lot of things in the park that doesn't even involve the lake.
Yeah. And how many cabins do they have out there?
They have 38 cabins.
Oh, they have quite a few. Okay.
And
That's
of course,
good.
camping. And camping out there is a pleasure, even for city-fied people, because if you've ever been to Edgar Evans State Park, it is hilly. And in order to get level campsites for people, they had to figure out a different way of doing it. And you'll hear more about this at the History Hayride, because Freddie Curtis will be portraying the man from the Corps of Engineers who had a major role in designing this campground. But the camp spots are cantilevered on the hill, and they're like balconies or decks projected
Cemented.
out toward the lake.
Yeah.
They're platforms and they're level, and you don't have to worry about, if it rains, you don't track mud into your camper or your tent.
And there's no
First time I
snakes.
saw it, I thought, my goodness, this is awful. You know, that after it rained one time, I said, wow, why don't everybody do this?
And snakes don't like to get up on the platforms.
That their cement, that's a plus. Very big plus. Okay, well, I thank both of you for coming again, and we'll do this again.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's
All
always
right.
delightful. And I just wanted to say while I'm here, we've been admiring these gorgeous quilts. in
Aren't they
here.
beautiful?
They are some of the prettiest I believe I've ever seen, and I am
Well,
a
as
quilt
soon
collector.
as this lady is done with her showing, there's another person that's coming.
This artist's name is Hannah O'Neill.
Yeah.
And we just hung these quilts. It's a brand new showing here, and this is going to stay up. I think I wrote September and October. So this will be up for 2 months, and then we'll have a brand new quilt show right after this in the November and December months.
Has
This
she
one
done
over here,
all of
the
these?
3D just blows
Oh,
me
there.
away.
Look at that one over there. I love the colors
It's
on that
beautiful
one.
colors, amazing, hand stitching on some of these. A lot of these are all of her personal quilts, and so she has definitely some heirloom ones in there, and that she worked on. Definitely used bits and pieces of cloth from her father, and a lot of them are very sentimental, and which is just part of the Southern quilting tradition, in my opinion. It's definitely in my family, so I appreciate.
Well, I don't know about the flip-flops. Is that?
She has some fun ones in there too. I think she has some grandkids that she likes to do some fun colors, flip-flops and monster, faces, and there's some butterfly quilts over there. So it's a beautiful show.
It is a beautiful show. And this one over here, I don't know whether Colby would want to show it or not, but that one, really, if the longer you look at it, the more you see different things in it.
It's very complex.
Yes, it
You see different shapes. It looks like
It's
buildings.
almost 3D.
It is. It looks like buildings when you look at it one way. It looks like you're looking into rooms from the top and another, and you see the geometrical,
Yeah.
what is it, pentagon or
Well, that's not fair to describe it and not be able to show it. So you'll just have to come
We're
and see it.
sorry you missed it. You'll have to come down here and look at it.
It's always
It's
open
They're
for people.
hanging in the art center.
Yes, it's free admission. You just come on in and take a look around. It's a free show. But yeah, we've got these beautiful quilts with some very complex and beautiful stitching, and all of that will be up for September and October, and then we'll have a new one in November and December.
Thank you, Carolyn, for having us again.
Well, that's quite all right. I will see you all tomorrow.
Very
Okay,
good.
we appreciate it. And I dropped my Kleenex. I can't get
Well,
away
that's
from
all
it
right.
this time of year.
I know how that goes. I do. Okay, Lindsay, we're finally to you,
All right.
because Lindsay is Everything Art Center today.
I am, yes. Here to talk about a lot of stuff that's going on at the Art Center. We recently had our White Oak Craft Fair. That went really well. And that as a yearly thing that we do, it's an annual craft fair that we do in the fall months. And there are over 80 vendors that come by, all with handmade items, jewelry and blacksmiths and glass blowing and scarves, and even this year,
Jewelry and
oh, it's all kinds of things by very talented artists. And it's just a great time to come out and get a head start on your Christmas shopping,
Yes. And you've got to remember, too, that the Art Center is open year-round, and it has a gift center that's open.
We do.
Year-round. And so if you want to get that something for someone that you don't know what to get them, you'll find something there, you will.
Absolutely. It's we have some unique artists, local artists that portray their work in our gift shop, which, like Carolyn said, is up year-round. I mean, everything from bowls to pottery and baskets, our famous white oak baskets, and prints and paintings. I mean, there's just something for everyone, especially a unique gift if you're looking for somebody that may have everything.
Candles, soap.
All of that.
And then the display that they have of the baskets over the years that's been donated to the Art Center. And they're all on display now.
Yes.
And those, though, are not for sale, are they?
They are
Lindsay?
not for sale, no. We're trying to preserve the tradition of the white oak basket, so it's something that we'd like to stay so that everybody can get a chance to come see, especially the people that are new to Cannon County and want to know. We feel like this is a great place for them to come kind of get a feel for the local artwork and the local traditions in that sense. And definitely white oak basket weaving is something that is local tradition.
Furniture and white oak baskets.
Yes.
And throw moonshine in there, too, because
Absolutely.
that was part of the history, too.
You're right.
And now it's legal.
That's right.
Back then, maybe not so much, but anyway, the Art Center is, Cannon County is very proud to have the Art Center because a lot of people try to fashion theirs after this, and they come in and look at it, and of course, then you have the plays and the musicals that all tie into that, and they're good. They're not just thrown together. They're good.
We pride ourselves on being part of the community, so we pull from the community. It's a community theater that we have, but all the talent is just amazing in this area. We pull from even counties all over, come to this art center to perform and to have their work on display, and so we're very lucky to be a part of something like that that's bigger than just ourselves.
We have a 1966 Chevy right here in the hall with us. You can't see it. That's why you need to come to this. But the reason we have that here is because we have the Color Fall Car Show that will be coming up this month. As you can see in my little collection of cars I have at home. That's a big event for the Chamber because that is the one fundraiser the Chamber has each year is the Color Fall Car Show. So Greg Rogers owns this 1966 Chevy 2 station wagon, and he is good enough to bring one of his vehicles each year during this time. So there's other things you got going on.
Lots more going on at the Art Center. We don't just show off art, that is a big part of what we do, but we also have musicals. We have a theater that seats about 225 people. And so our next show that's coming up, it opens September 15th. It is $1 Million Quartet is the name of it. And it is a show that it feels a little bit more like a concert, actually, but it is all of the musical stylings of Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, Johnny Cash, and Elvis Presley, and we have some very talented musicians that are playing. We've been listening to their rehearsals all week. Carolyn can attest to that as well.
Yes, I have.
So you've seen them in action as they're preparing, as they're rehearsing, and two of those are Cannon County natives.
They are.
We have Daxton Patrick, who is going to portray Jerry Lee Lewis, as well as Jacob Miller, who will be Carl Perkins. Very talented people, and the whole cast is really great.
This is my kind of music right here.
It's full of music. There is some storyline a little bit behind it. It's kind of historical as to how it came together, but there was actually a real life concert where all of those people came together. That's Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, Johnny Cash, and Elvis Presley. They all came together for one concert, and this show is all about that one concert. And so if you like any of those people, I mean, you get them all at once.
Yes.
All of their music all at once.
Music's great.
It's fabulous.
It is.
So definitely make reservations to come see that. It opens September 15th. It runs through the 30th. That's 3 weekends that it runs in September. And yeah, give us a call, or you can make your reservations online as well. So that's $1 Million Quartet. And then next at the Art Center after that, as part of my expertise, we have our Young at Art School Show series, and I'm the Director of Education here, so I'm in charge of all of the things that have to do with kids, and we have a great field trip program. So we are doing, this Christmas, we're doing the best Christmas pageant ever, and so I'm already booking schools to come and see that show. I mean, just busloads of kids. They come every year to see. We have 3 shows that we do per year for schools, and we also do a couple of public performances for that as well. So if you're not going through a school system, you can still come see the show. All of those shows are definitely more geared towards children. So.
But the adults like them.
Oh, of course.
It's not just the kids.
And Best Christmas Pageant Ever is just a holiday classic,
Right.
Just a great story. And so, yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I mean, our full-length productions are usually 2.5 hours, and there's a big intermission in between, and may not work well for young students,
Right.
you know, children. So that's why we offer this Young at Art School Show series. The shows are about an hour long. There's not an intermission in between. And it's just a fun time to come and be with the family and celebrate a little bit.
And it's amazing to see how they can get busloads of kids from the bus into the auditorium, seated, watch a show, and get them loaded up and get everybody home.
We strive to make it easy for the teachers. We have it worked down, it's a science now. You know, we line them up and we file them in, and they get to see a great show. A lot of them, first time they've ever seen a live theater production versus
Right.
a movie. So that's really special for us to be able to be somebody's first experience in the theater. And then we load them back on the bus, and we also provide materials for teachers to teach in the classroom before they come see the show, so the kids get used to.
Kind of know.
Yeah, so they have some materials to you know, they learn about the characters, they learn about the plot. There's a lot of educational things that can go into seeing a production.
Right.
So,
And a lot of the actors are children.
they are. A lot of our local children, some of them have been involved here for a long time, and it's really great to start their arts education at a young age.
That's right.
So that's what happened to me, and I was in theater from the time I was 8 years old, and it made a huge impact on my life. So getting to see that happen for other students is great. But yes, if you want to come see the best Christmas pageant ever, that is December 9th and the 16th, and those are our public shows. They're 2:00 matinees on Saturdays. So those are our 2 public performances for best Christmas pageant ever. If you're not going to be able to make it this Christmas, because December is a busy month, it always is, starting at the beginning of the year, we have Seussical, the musical, which is a Dr. Seuss musical with all kinds of Dr. Seuss characters. That is March 3rd and the 10th, and those are 2:00 matinees as well. And then in May, we have Charlotte's Web, which was always a favorite novel of mine. I studied it in about 3rd grade. So that will be May 5th and the 12th. And you can get all of those tickets online already. They are for sale. So if you want to plan ahead, go ahead and do that. And yeah, so especially if you know any teachers, be sure to send them our way. A lot of them have trouble finding field trips that they can tie into education, tie into what they're teaching in the classroom, but we offer a lot of material for that. So we're excited about it.
There's something going on here all the time.
All the time.
There is. There really
All the time.
is.
And I do have one more announcement. As far as students go, like I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of students that are a part of our productions. But if you have a student at home that is kind of, that sounds like something that they would be interested in. Maybe they sing a lot in their bedroom, or they just have that kind of personality that's very energetic and out there. We're definitely looking for extroverts. We're having a musical theater class. I'm teaching that for the first time starting this fall. And so we have a class for first graders through sixth grade. That class is on Tuesdays from 4:30 to 5:30. And then 7th grade through 12th grade is on Thursdays, 4:30 to 5:30. And in that class, we will talk about acting and singing and dancing. We'll definitely get up on our feet and experience some of that. And then at the end, in December, it's just a semester long, we're going to take what we learned on the road and do kind of a Christmas tour to places in our community.
That's great.
And we have not booked those just yet, but
We're looking.
That's right. We're looking for places in our community to be able to perform, so the kids get a chance to kind of show up.
The schools ought to jump all over that.
Right. So, but yes, so we just started for the first time this week, and if you are interested in that at all, you can call the Arts Center, or you can visit our website, and there's more information there as well.
Okay, and then we have some events coming up in October, don't we?
Yes.
This one right here.
Our concert series.
Yes.
Yes. So on top of the shows and the school shows and the stuff going on in our gallery and all the craft fair, I mean, we've got a lot going on. We also have a concert series, and that is not a show, but definitely some great music. When is that? October 7th is a Journey tribute band. So if you liked the music of Journey, come on out. They're called Resurrection, and they are a Journey tribute band. Definitely a fun time.
All of these tribute bands that I've heard are good.
They are.
The Beatles, there were 2 different sets, I believe, and actually they were really good. Both of them were. Then on the 14th, you've got the country western.
Yes, October 14th is Charlie McCoy, and he is a country music artist, a lot of great harmonica and just some great country sounds. He is going to do his concert on the 14th. That should be very interesting. I've already got my tickets for that one, actually. So,
Well, I've got mine for
the Journey band?
no.
Oh.
I've got mine. My kids and grandkids will probably get in on that Journey one. No, I've got mine for the one just coming up here.
Oh, $1 Million Quartet?
Right.
And like I said, that show is part of our regular show series, so it has a little bit of a storyline with it, but it definitely has a concert feel. I mean, with all those great musicians,
Yeah,
it has to.
does. And the music, you'll like that.
Definitely.
And coming up, this is a little bit early, but we might as well mention it because it's by far my favorite, and that's the Elvis tribute in December, the Christmas show.
We have a Christmas with Elvis concert, which has been great in the past. So he is one that's
Tom
been here before.
Duggan is the one who does Elvis. He doesn't look like him.
He's
He
not an
doesn't
impersonator.
dress like him.
Right.
But oh my gosh, he can sing like him. Oh, he can. He really can.
He's not an impersonator, so you don't get that part of the showiness, but you definitely hear some great music, and it's just a really fun concert. It's a fun time.
He puts on a good show. If you haven't seen it before, you need to see it, and that'll be in December, and we'll talk more about that.
Absolutely.
Next, do we have anything else?
Let's see. I talked about my class, and I think that's just about it for the Arts Center. Definitely come by and check out our quilts. Hannah O'Neill is the name of that artist again. Just some really intricate, great hand stitching and wonderful colors. Just some great artists. And check out our gift shop as well. So.
Yes, because it is, believe it or not, it is time to start thinking about Christmas.
It is.
And that is one thing we'll talk to you about next month, will be our Christmas, country Christmas that we do every year. And I think the Art Center this year is going to have their Christmas show on that same weekend. And that is in November. The country Christmas is always the weekend before Thanksgiving, and they're planning a lot of new things to go on during that country Christmas. And last year, everybody had a great time. We had a town full of people. So we'll tell you more about that when we get more things settled next month. But On the 11th of September, we have National Patriots Day ceremony, and of course that's in memory of 9/11. No one will forget that. It begins at 10:30 at Cannon County High School, and it's presented by the American Legion, Hilton Stone Post 279, and everybody's invited to attend that. September 12th, the Cannon County Historical Society will meet at the Senior Center at 6:30 p.m., and their guest is going to be Raymond Robinson. And Raymond has lived in this area, I guess, all his life. So he'll be a very interesting speaker. Okay, let's see. September 21st, 22nd, and 23rd is a fairly new event. I think this is the second or third year they've done this, and they have a fall wagon train ride. And what they do is they have wagons pulled by mules. Sometimes they have horses that pull these wagons. And each day they leave the fairgrounds at 9 a.m. There is a wagon train, and they go a different area in Cannon County each day. So they have a big time with that. It's interesting to see. Lots of people come out just to watch them go by. September 23rd is the Color of Fall Car and Truck Show, and this will be on the square in Woodbury. Registration will start at 8 o'clock until 12 noon. That means that you have to get registered in order to be judged. So if you get registered between 8 and 12, you will be judged, and will be giving away 67 trophies and 7 cash prizes. There's lots of fun, lots of trivia contests, door prizes. Some of our major sponsors this year are O'Reilly's, the Cannon Courier, B&P Printers, Big Frog T-shirts, and more. We have a lot of people, a lot of businesses in and outside of Cannon County that help sponsor this event. And we're hoping for a big crowd and good weather. And that's on the 23rd. And actually, a new event came to my attention over the weekend. On the 22nd, which is a Friday, we have a church that is called the Experience Community Church, and they are putting on a night of worship, and it's going to be on the square. It's an outside event. It's going to start, I believe, at 7 p.m. Everyone is welcome to attend. There's going to be music, lots of worship. So if you're interested in this, you don't have to be a member of that church to attend. Excuse me. But that's going to be on Friday night, the September 22nd. And then September 30th, you know, I've always been a believer in the fact that you help your neighbors promote their events, and they're going to help you because a lot of your crowd is going to come from your neighboring counties. And on September 30th, they'll be having the 5th annual Fire on the Mountain, and that is a chili cook-off, and there's a bug that won't leave me alone. That is a chili cook-off and a car show, and it will be at in Monteagle, Tennessee. It'll be at Hannah Pickett Park in Monteagle, and the chili cook-off is from 11 to 2, and the car show is 10 to 2. So on the 30th, if you don't have anything to do, and that is also the rain date for my car show. So, but if we get to have this on the 23rd, you might take a drive up there, because I believe that the Tracy City Rodders will be handling the car show part of it. October 21st is the Toy Drive Cruise In on the square in Woodbury, 3 until 6 p.m. And that is a toy drive. So bring a toy to give to kids at Christmas time that are needing it. and that will be on the 21st, and there is a rain date on that, which would be the 28th. And October 22nd through the 29th is Off the Beaten Path Studio Tour, 10 to 5 each day, and that's where you actually visit the artist studio, and you'll probably see them at work. And that's about all we have, and we've enjoyed talking to you, and we look forward to seeing you next month.